Okay, in order to be a girl about town, you have to know that wherever you are, there you are, and wherever you are is exactly where you're meant to be. It's time to honor your place in life and stop rushing for an imaginary future that has not yet come to fruition. We always talk about how life is this short thing. If we could place a timeline that extends all of human history, our lives are but a dot, right? A little pencil prick. And so the more I hear stories about older people or people that are near their death, they always say, no matter how frail and fragile they are, that it came too quickly, right? And we don't know how long we are going to be here on this earthly realm and alive and thriving and in this condition, whatever condition that we're in. And so instead of rushing, trying to get out of it, I really hope that we learn to honor exactly where we are in life. A lot of the time when I am going to be coming to you guys, I just get these little sparks of an idea, like, oh, let me make that a video because it's something that came to me and I want to share it with you. And so recently I was hanging out with my son, as I do all the time. That's just what I do, kicking it with my son, Mama's son way. And he was crying. He was crying and crying and crying for a bottle. And I'm like, dude, I'm making it. Whole time I'm making the bottle, he's crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And, you know, I'm trying to heat up the bottle. He's crying. And I'm like, gosh, and I just give him the bottle cold, and you know, he stops crying as soon as he gets the bottle. But I thought to myself, like, wow, here I am, the mother to this boy, and he's crying, but his blessing is on the way, right? And so we as women, as people navigating this thing we call life, a lot of times we are crying and crying and crying and crying, and God is already preparing the bottle. Okay, God is preparing that bottle. And so instead of crying, just enjoy where you are. Honor the moment. Know that what is coming is on its way to you. You are on its way to it. You will meet in the middle like two lovers in a rom-com after 7 years apart. Okay? And so in order to be a girl about town, honor where you are. Know that you are a girl about town in this moment, okay? And no matter what it is that you hope to one day gain, reach, grow to, you will get there. Shout out to my last video. You will get there as long as you stay on the road. But you don't even have to stop and smell the roses. Walk and enjoy the view, babe. Because even as I sit here today, I think about the fact that I've been thinking about that song We'll Never Be Royals a lot, because I think growing up in America, you are not privy to or just, let me not say growing up in America, my upbringing, I didn't realize that we were not rich people. And that's a very privileged standpoint to live life through, right? Of course, I didn't think we were rich people, but I just didn't realize how far from wealth we truly were until I moved to New York. But really until I just started seeing the sheer amount of wealth that is out there in the world. And I started feeling bad about myself, like, oh wow, like, I don't have Porsche money, you know, I don't have money for a 2-bedroom apartment in New York City. Like, I don't have money to live in Manhattan. I have to live in Brooklyn and take the train, And these are all insights that came to me when I was living in New York City, because truly, some people say I didn't realize I was poor until I got to college. I didn't realize we were poor until I moved to damn New York, damn city, okay? Because that is where the true wealth divide shows its rear end. Like, okay, let me just say it. Shows its ass, for real, because I was working in this place, this finance adjacent job is all I'll say about that. And I was seeing, like, I remember my manager, she was this girl who was maybe like a year older than me. And this hoe had a Rolex on, and no like jealousy in that statement at all, but I was like, it was just so casual in her outfit, you know. And she had just took a family trip to Italy, and of course, you know, I've taken family trips to places a lot of the times, but I'm thinking, you know, we was flying standby low key, and we went to Puerto Rico, and you know, we also went to South Africa, but also flying standby. But again, you know, we have these experiences, we go through life, and let me quit saying I've been hanging out with too many teenagers. I was an English teacher for a while, you know, I'm gonna just be hanging out with teenagers, so I'm not lame. But, the kids say all the time. Anyway, I realized when I was living in New York, when I was working that job, when I was living in Crown Heights, taking the train 60 minutes every day to and from work, and these two hoes in the office was talking about, man, I wish I could be on the train longer. I'm only on the train 2 stops and then I get to work. And it's like, wow, what a blessing to be on the train 6 minutes. Try multiplying that by 10. And I was just realizing, like, whoa. Whoa. Does everybody see what I'm seeing? And in that moment, I felt so, like, low-key sad for myself. It's like, damn, like, we count our dollars on the train to the party. And I loved that song when I was a kid, but I really didn't realize what it means. And when I sit and analyze it now, it's really true. We will never be royals. Like, we will never be Roth children, okay? Not that I want to be. Those people are EVIL, BOYS. But it's just, it's a mad thing, you know? It's truly a mad thing. But I'm saying this all to say to you, dear listener, dear reader, honor where you're at, okay? If you want to drive a Porsche truck one day, pull up in your exclusive gated neighborhood with, you know, your 2.5 kids, and I'm just saying what I want, you know. I've come to the point of acceptance, because even though I'm not where I want to be, I see this all the time on the internet, I'm living in an answered prayer. And look around. If you are a first generation college student, first generation have left my hometown, whatever, like, sit in that. Girl, if you just moved out and you are in a studio with no furniture, clap for yourself. Clap for the heavyweight champ, you. And maybe you did do it all alone, you know? Wherever you are, there you are. And it's such a beautiful thing to be alive. And why live that life dwelling on what isn't? Right? Look around. Don't just smell the roses. Pick them up. Put them in a vase. Put it by the window. Okay? You are alive. You're not in jail. Like, I say that to say, like, you have freedom. You are not a tree. You can move. And so, in order to be a girl about town, honor where you are, babe. I love you. I mean it 1000%. And I really hope you took from this long that you can do it. God is preparing the bottle. Stop crying, okay? Like I was thinking to my son the whole time I'm making his bottle. Dude, I'm making the bottle. I'm making the bottle. God is preparing your blessing, okay? God is preparing your blessing even in your tears, okay? So wipe them away. And, you know, of course, I don't want to discount anybody who's really going through, like, a terrible, terrible time, okay? And I don't want to spread toxic positivity, because I'm just trying to make sure everybody knows that I'm a person who knows that sometimes shit is rough. But yeah, most of the time things are figure outable. Most of the time you can get through. Most of the time you'll see another day. Most of the time things will get better. Most of the time you'll live and life is going to be amazing in a year. Most of the time there's some action that you can take right now to change your current circumstance to make it closer to whatever it is you hope to achieve. But anyways, I love you. I mean it. And My name is Tanda Dubé, and I'm here to help you be a girl about town. If you're wondering what a girl about town is, it is a woman of the world navigating this thing we call life, trying to figure it out and, you know, make her moolah or get that bread or, you know, marry a rich old man who's finna so she can get some and she can buy some whatever. But whatever it is that you want in life, a girl about town is a girl who's going after it, and I love you. I mean it. I hope you stay hydrated and you keep your vibrator charged and you you know, you're fruitful and multiply the love in your life. Ciao.